Hey YouTube, I'm Aaron Ross. Welcome to this week's video. I am already a Fujifilm shooter. I use the X-T4 as my main camera. I have a suite of lenses that I use, all sorts of videos on this channel talking about those various lenses and what I like about the Fujifilm system. Now with the announcement of the X-T4 from Fujifilm just a few weeks ago, I have been watching all of the first impression and review videos here on YouTube to try and decide, is this an upgrade that I'm going to make for myself? And the answer is no. Now don't get me wrong, it is an amazing camera and it is an improvement over the X-T4. But those changes aren't enough to warrant the upgrade for me. And there's 3 reasons why. Now I'm not going to go through every spec of the new camera, but the main differences from the X-T4 to the X-T4 that I can see are battery life, the articulating screen, and then some video specs. Of the 3, the most interesting to me is the battery life. They've almost doubled the battery life of the batteries used in the X-T4 over the X-T4. This is definitely a welcomed upgrade over the batteries in the X-T4. I currently carry 5 of them and feel like I have to charge them still a little too often. But for me, upgrading to the X-T4 means also exchanging all of my batteries, and that's another added expense and just not enough to make the change. Now, moving to the articulating screen. This is great for one specific purpose, and that's vlogging, which when I'm out on the streets and I'm doing some run and gun vlogging, I'm not using my Fuji. And it's not because I don't have an articulating screen, it's just I use different cameras for that purpose. I'm either using my iPhone or the Osmo Action right there, nice little run and gun camera that is discreet out on the street. And so having that articulating screen for vlogging doesn't make sense for the way that I use my cameras. But when I'm using my Fuji, it's either in photo mode out on the streets or here in the studio on a tripod where I can more easily lock off my focus or use the app on my phone to check exposure and other settings. And that brings me to the other video upgrades that they've made to the X-T4. They've added a specific drive dial to switch between photo and video, which is going to be great for those hybrid shooters, probably those at events most specifically. But again, this isn't for me in the way that I use my camera. And that applies to the IBIS and the 240 frames per second slow-mo. Those just aren't helpful features for doing a talking head on a tripod. So for me, it is not an upgrade that I'm looking to make, but if you are looking to just get into the Fuji system or you have an older camera and you need to make a bigger jump, this is an amazing camera, especially at this price point. So as you know, the theme on this channel is just get started, and that is always true. It doesn't matter what gear you have. It doesn't matter of having the latest and greatest. It means getting out there, using the gear you already have. If that's your phone, if that's an older camera, if that's a film camera, if that is a entry-level DSLR from any brand, it's a matter of getting out there and practicing and learning and growing. And only once you've reached those limits of the gear you currently have, then exploring maybe a gear upgrade that makes sense for you and what you're doing. So with all of that said, go ahead and subscribe for more photography content coming your way. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if the X-T4 is a camera that you're thinking about upgrading to, pros and cons for you, and what you're trying to achieve. But again, remember, until next time, just get started.